Wait, stand here.
No.
Okay, everything is fine.
Hello, dear viewers. Welcome to a new episode of
Culture Clash.
Well, today I have just decided in this very moment that I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite films, Stranger Than Fiction.
Wow, okay, so begin.
But first, before I start talking about Stranger Than Fiction, I want to give some update on Sense8 because, well, when I reviewed Sense8 a couple of weeks ago, I had only seen the first season, and since then I have watched the second season and the movie that is the finale to the show. My review was very positive, but yeah, later the following seasons really blew my mind. I think it's a really important, great show. It was a pity that they didn't make it longer, that they cancelled it beforehand. But yeah, I mean, I was saying, for example, that the show was a bit corny, but I think that is definitely intentional because I think that Lana Wachowski, she was really trying to give some positive stories of diversity, you know, like trans people, lesbians, gay people, and all these, communities that are discriminated against. All of the stories in film and in TV shows, they are always like very dark and very dramatic, and they are sad and all that. And, you know, this is just a fun TV show in which everyone can celebrate diversity, and it's just a fun time, and it's corny, and it's great, and it's something to be happy about, I think. And you know, it's something that really irradiates happiness, and that's something that really I enjoyed and yeah, considering. So Stranger Than Fiction is a Hollywood movie romantic comedy based on a novel by Unamuno, a Spanish writer in the 20th century. And basically it follows the story of Harold Creek, played by Will Ferrell, which is like a very methodical guy. He's a man of routine. He wakes up every day at the same time, he goes to bed at the same time, he does he's a tax collector, his life is calculated to the second. He has the same food every day, he counts how many times he has to brush his teeth a day, like every time, like, okay, maybe 50 times this way and 50 times this other way. And it's like very boring, never nothing exciting. His life is grey, it's every day, literally the same day. However, the inciting incident is that one day he wakes up, he starts doing his life, and you start hearing this narration explaining the story, the life of Harold Creek.
Harold found himself exasperated.
Shut up!
Cursing the heavens in futility.
No, I'm not. I'm cursing you, you stupid boy, so shut up and leave me alone!
And this is a normal thing because we are very used to having narrators in movies talking about the life of the main protagonist. However, in this story, the protagonist, Harold Creek, he can actually hear the voice. And he can hear everything that the voice is saying, and he's really going mad because this voice also knows things in advance. So maybe the voice says, okay, and now it's going to start raining, and it starts raining. Harold Creek lost the subway, and he loses his subway, so he's really trying to figure out what's going on. He tries to contact a literature professor played by Dustin Hoffman in order to see, okay, this seems to be like a novelist who is narrating my life. I want to know what kind of novelist, who is this novelist. And because he's also very worried because one of the things about the story is that the novelist, the story, at some point she says, but what he didn't know at all is that Harold Creek is going to die. And he obviously goes insane. Like, what? This may sound a bit dramatic, but it's actually very funny. It's a romantic comedy. He is a tax accountant, a tax collector, as I said, and he kind of has a love-hate relationship with Maggie Gyllenhaal, who is a hippie, who is the owner of she's the owner of bar where basically like there's always like homeless people to whom he attends and he gives them shelter and food and all that, and it's like really great character. But yeah, Harold Creek is trying to make her collect her taxes, and this could be bad for her business, of course. She's in trouble, and there's like this love-hate relationship, and through all these characters, through this inciting incident, and through all these unexpected and weird things that are going on in this movie, he basically changes. He learns to live life to the fullest, and yeah, he starts playing guitar. He starts taking life as a bit more unexpected. And yeah, basically every actor in this movie is amazing. Queen Latifah is also one of the major actresses in this movie. She's playing the agent of Emma Thompson, who is the author. And yeah, it's just a pleasure to watch this movie. It's just so positive for me. Like, I watch this movie almost every year. And yeah, it always brings me happy, makes me happy. It talks about important topics like existentialism. It's a bit existential for me, I think, but at the same time, it's just very positive. It's a romantic comedy. It's light. It's sweet. It has obviously a happy ending, and yeah, it's just a perfect movie if you want something to cheer you up.
Okay, Fernando, so maybe let's go and watch this movie.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you for showing me this.
Yeah, I'm happy that you liked it.
Yeah. No, we haven't seen that movie now, but I will watch this later. The TV show I want to talk about is a Netflix production called You, which I recently have seen, and I know that you also have seen this TV show. It tells a story about Joe Goldberg, who is a book vendor, and also he is a stalker because he has like some psychological problems, and
he's a weird guy.
Yeah, he's kind of weird, and the story starts...
Not a weird guy, but a creepy guy, sorry. That's basically his life profession, his life goal.
The story starts when a girl comes to a bookstore, and then the romantic story starts.
I believe in love at first sight.
No real words?
Only fake ones.
Because the story is told in this romance movie aesthetic. The whole story is told as a typical romantic story, but it's not so typical because, like I said, Joe is a stalker, and when he finds his new love interest after a hard relationship we will find out he had in the past, which ended not so good, he becomes a stalker because for him it's important to take like 100% of care on the other person, in this context Beck, that just appears in the bookstore. And it's very interesting to watch and funny to watch because of this absurd humor, and because yeah, he's kind of creepy and he starts doing very weird things and crime things because he needs to eliminate every possible threat that he
seems to these crimes. That connects him, like every possible threat and clue that might lead
not only the clue that connects
rise.
him, of course, but I'm generally speaking that he needs to like eliminate, for example, every person that has a bad influence on his girlfriend Beck. What I enjoy about this TV show is that you can like very easily watch this, because it's like this kind of TV show that you can just watch almost, I don't know, the whole season during one day. And I mean, I watched like 3 episodes during one day, but you can watch more for sure. It's very entertaining, and yeah, it's entertaining and funny because you just watch, to be honest, normal human story, but it has this kind of costume of kind of crime, sometimes thriller movie, and it's also...
But it has the pace of a romantic comedy, which is also kind of fun.
And it's like told in this very light way, and it's just very enjoyable to watch. It has some nice, funny points, because like Joe is commenting because we can hear his mind during the whole
narration.
show. Yeah, his narration. So he's like commenting everything that happens. So for example, he comments other people because of course he knows more about other people because he is stalker. So he is updated all the time.
Yeah, he's always making like interesting observations about other people, making judgments and stuff like that.
Yeah, and right now it has 2 seasons. The first season wasn't produced by Netflix, but then Netflix bought the rights and did a second season, which in my opinion is better. After watching the first season, I thought that no, why they're doing the second season? Like it shouldn't happen because it's gonna be like the kind of different story, but with the same characters, more like analogy than the same story told through seasons.
But it actually kind of breaks the mold and tries to explore new dynamics.
And I thought it was much better than the first season. I think that I enjoyed season 2 much more, and now I'm waiting for the first season. And yeah, it's just enjoyable to watch, and I recommend you that.
Yeah, I mean, I can also recommend it to me. For me, it was a weird watch because, I mean, I didn't really just think it was a pleasant or interesting watch. I think it was really, like, really interesting. Like, basically taking all the tropes of romantic comedy and basically commenting, like, this is actually like stalker, like the kind of scene that the guy goes to the house of the girl, she wants to her to fall in love with him.
You mean
and he's like
with the brick?
Yeah, and all those kind of cliches, and he's going to the house and he's throwing like some stones, or he has like some speakers and he does like this big romantic gesture, and he's basically, this TV show is saying that's actually very weird. All these conceptions that we have about romantic love and romanticism and all that, that's actually kind of creepy, and they can really lead to some very toxic behavior. And I think the message of these, I mean, I think that they are, on the first hand, I think they are trying to do this social commentary about like basically talking against romantic love, and at the same time they are also trying to do like a binge watchable show. So it's kind of in the middle. It's like it has some interesting things to say, but in the end it's also just a binge watchable show that you will watch it like very short time.
It's a very like binge watching TV show, but I really like also like this thing I wanted to tell about this TV show is that aspect that it also wants, like you said, break this romantic perspective on love generally, because I like the whole idea that like this TV show is not like about nothing, but like tells something in this binge watching feeling.
Yeah, it's important. Yeah,
and like I really like that because like in this TV show, especially in the season 2, like they're in my opinion like telling the creators that there's not such a thing like this kind of romantic vision that maybe we might have at the beginning, and it's just great. And
it's very funny because I think it goes one by one through all the big cliches, like the love at first sight, like all these things that we have heard so many times. And
even like the beginning of the first episodes, it's like typical, love movie that he's in this bookshelf and
the music, it's produced in a way that is also reminiscent of this kind of movies and this kind of genre. So it's really interesting to watch, and it's also filled with interesting literary references, which is also very exciting for me as I am a big bookworm. So I think it's a really interesting TV show.
We recommend you to check the titles we just talked about, and see you in the next episode of Culture Clash.
Bye.
Cheers.